What's up, everybody? YuGiOh 101. Let's see what we're gonna do. A tips video. Like I haven't done one of these videos in quite some time, because of school and have me a job now. Had it since September, so things have really been falling to the wayside. And, I just feel like I really wanna, you know, just keep this series going. Plus, I had like a list of videos that I wanted to do for this series, so time for me to get some of these videos out the way. So for this one, we're going to be talking about deck building, you know. And this isn't going to be some of those bullshit videos where they talk about, oh, just find a strategy and find what works for you type deals. No, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to elaborate on what's out there in the game so that it would just, like hopefully you'll find interest in it and, like you'll give those things a try. Um, okay, for deck building, you have to understand something. When you make a build, you basically want to make something that, how can I put it, that all the cards work in some sort of unison. You want to make it to where that you have a few strategies in your build, not just one. Like now some builds can't help it but have with that one strategy, and that's just to get that ace monster out. But you have some builds out there like that are more advanced, and I believe as you get more familiar with the game and you get more familiar with the cards that are available to use in the game, then you will notice that you'll be able to put in more strategies within that build. So just in case, okay, so say like for instance, your strategy was to get out this ace monster. Now what an ace monster is, it's pretty much like the monster, like who is like the boss monster in your build. Like your main focus is to get that monster out somehow, and or more so like as quickly as you possibly can. And some decks have that strategy to where that's all they have. Just get out this ace monster and just uh uh protect that. You know, or like the first season of Yu-Gi-Oh really heavily emphasized on this. Like with Yugi, his ace monster was the Dark Magician, and he did whatever he could, you know, to keep that monster on the field. Like whether he had to revive it from the graveyard or whether he had to put some type of quick play spell out, or whether he had to put out some type of trap. Regardless what it was, he made sure that that one monster stayed face up on the field. And even with other elemental heroes, elemental hero Neos, in Yu-Gi-Oh GX, like that was Jaden's ace monster. He did what he could to keep that monster on the field. But you know, like I said, most some you have builds that only have that one simple strategy is to get out that ace monster and protect it. But for other decks, like I said, as you get more familiar with the game and you get more familiar with the cards that are in the game, you find out what other strategies you can include into this build. So in the event of, let's say you're not able to keep your ace monster out on the field, you can still do this. Like you'll still be able to protect yourself and possibly turn the game around to where you're able to win. So the first thing in deck building, I would pretty much say, well, first you need to research the cards, in my opinion. Now, this isn't necessary, for for like new people who may not be interested in it as much and they just want to just get something quick. If that's the case, I'm pretty sure there's like a website out there that can, like just give you something quick to use, something like that. But for those who are interested in the game, like you wanna, see what cards are available. And of course, the Dueling Network has the cards from the OCG and the TCG. So you can pretty much look at things that will be, or that will be coming to the United States soon. like with the OCG, and you already have the TCG, which are already in the United States or will be released in the United States in like the coming months. But yeah, you can go to Dueling Network and you can check out those cards and you can see what they have available. And like there's going to be that one card that just hit, that really just like piques your interest, and you're gonna have to find a way to build a strategy around that card. That happened to me so many times. Like I would be looking for cards. Well, like I just research cards as a hobby. So when I see something that I feel like I can build something with that's interesting and something that's very unique and indigenous to to my style, which is pretty much anything. um, yeah, like I try to find a way to utilize it in some sort of build so that I can you know just have something that you don't really see every day. But like that's just how I think. This is for beginners. This is tips. I don't want to get too far out. So the first thing is to do is to find a strategy. That's the first thing when it comes to deck building, finding a strategy. Now, there's many types of strategies. There's a beatdown strategy, like there's burn strategies, etc. Just look up, what type of strategies they have in Yu-Gi-Oh, and you'll find out. Now, once you find out what type of strategy that you feel like you would be interested in, then you have to search out cards that can aid you in that strategy. And then amongst those cards, you have to find out which of those cards you feel like you like, that can get the job done. And then here pretty much comes the like one of the more uh, difficult parts. You have to ratio your cards. Some strategies cause you to you well, yeah, like certain strategies cause you to use less monsters, more spells, less spells, more monsters, more traps, or less traps, more spells, or more monsters, etc. So you have to find out what's the ratio, like the monster to non-monster cards, non-monster cards being the spells and traps. The ratio from monster cards to non-monster cards that can work for you. And that's really what it breaks down to: finding something that works for you. Like you don't want to. Well, like I can't really say that because they got people that will just play this game however they want to play it. But from my experience, like in order to keep things interesting, like that way you don't get bored with the game. You want to find something that, well, like since you're beginning, you want to find something that's, you know, like just pretty much just works for you. That's the best way I can put it. Just find something that you feel comfortable with, and learn it, get used to the build. Like don't just, like just like don't just brush it off as whatever. Like if you lose like the first 10 battles because you don't really understand the game and you don't understand how the cards work, or you don't understand activation and timing, which is another video I'm gonna do in the future. Um, just try to find something that you're comfortable with and study it. Study that strategy. Find out if there's any other cards that you feel like would work better with that strategy that you picked, and just get familiar with that build. And that's pretty much like the final step in deck building. Stick with what you are using. Find a way to improve it. And once you feel like you've gotten good enough with that, then move on to something else in order to keep, like the game interesting. You don't want to just have one boring deck and then it just becomes repetitive and, you know, bland. Like you always want to have something else. So hopefully this video was somewhat helpful. Like I know I did a lot of meaningless babble, but you know, Deck building. Find a strategy. Search cards that can aid in that strategy. Amongst those cards, find what you feel like you like the most or what you feel like can get the job done the best it can, and then ratio the cards properly so that you're able to increase your chances of uh, drawing what you need. You know, now in Yu-Gi-Oh, like a deck is 40 cards. It has to be at least 40 cards, and you can go up to 60. But obviously, you want to have as least cards as possible because that way you'll be able to draw what you need. You know, like a lot quicker, and you'll more so have luck on your side than somebody that has like 60 cards or like 50. You know what I mean? So yeah, there you go. Deck building. Hope this video was informative. And if there's anything you guys feel like you want me to speak on or elaborate on, then hey, um, feel free to ask, and I'll take it into consideration into a video. But until then, this was Yu-Gi-Oh 101 Tips, and I will see you guys next time for the next Yu-Gi-Oh 101 video.